Hey everyone. So today we're going to look at language conventions. So some grammar writing type things related to unusual normality, the same essay that we've been working with now for what, a week and a half. So um, today we're going to talk about active voice and passive voice. We looked at a little bit very briefly last week. We're going to dive a little deeper. So really the difference is this. In active voice, and well, first let me say active voice is what we almost always use. Almost always. Sometimes we're going to use passive voice um, because we want to put the emphasis on a different part of the sentence, and we can get into that. But usually we use active voice. Active voice is where the subject of the sentence is doing the action. All right. So look at this example here. But my mother got on the phone and called every school principal. Here we have the subject mother, right? And mother here is doing the action. She's calling. She's the one called. Mother called. See how we have subject, predicate. The subject is doing the action of the predicate. And then who did they call? They called the principal. So the principal here is the direct object. We haven't learned about direct object, but direct object is very straightforward. You take the subject and the predicate, say them together, and ask who or what. So mother called who, or mother called what? And the answer is your direct object. So mother called who? Mother called the principal. So in active voice, we have the subject, the predicate, and the direct object like this. The subject of the sentence is doing the action. See here, notice no one's doing anything to mother. Mother is the one doing something. That's active voice. However, in passive voice, the subject of the sentence, someone is doing something to the subject of the sentence. They're no longer, the subject of the sentence is no longer the person or the thing that is doing the action. All right, so like here, every school principal was called by my mother on the phone. So here the subject of the sentence is principal. Principal is the subject. The predicate is was called. So principal was called, well, was called by is fine. By whom? By mother, direct object. So here, what you really are looking for is what is the subject of the sentence, which we have practiced and practiced and practiced. So hopefully you're good at that now. The subject of the sentence is the school principal. Now ask yourself to know if this is active or passive. Is the school principal doing something, or did someone do something to the school principal? Are they receiving some sort of action? And here the principal, the school principal, our subject, is receiving the action. They're receiving the phone call by the mother. The principal didn't do anything. They didn't make a phone call. They received a phone call. So this is passive voice. Okay, so here's another example. We can look at it. I learned a new American term for what they did find it. So this is, right, all of these examples are right from the essay we read. So our subject predicate set is I learned, right? And here we have the subject I is doing the action. I learned. So this is active voice. But here, when we read this sentence, you see the visa I had been given was a prospective student visa, prospective student visa. So the visa that I had been given, now the subject of the sentence is visa. Is visa doing anything? No, no, visa's not doing the action here. Visa's not doing the action, so this is a passive voice. So here it asks you to just write your own sentence with active and passive voice. All right, so write a sentence here with active and write a sentence here that is in passive. Down here, just like with vocabulary, we have some practice. So if you click on the Grammar Studio, just like yesterday we clicked on Vocabulary Studio, it gives us some more info, some more examples, and some practice that's easy because it's drop down, right? Drop down menu. All right, so here's another example of active versus passive voice. Really simple one. I think simple examples are best. Mr. Noor helped Sarah. Here, Mr. Noor is our subject, and he's doing the action. He's helping. But if we look at the passive example, Sarah was helped by Mr. Noor. Here our subject is Sarah, and she's not doing anything. She's receiving something. In this case, it's help by Mr. Noor. So that's passive. All right, here you have some practice that is just dropped down. You're going to look at the sentence, Pat Cummings illustrates books, and decide is that active or passive. So to decide, find your subject. I've decided that the subject of this sentence is Pat Cummings. And now I'm going to ask myself, did Pat Cummings do something, or is something being done or happened to Pat Cummings? Here, Pat Cummings illustrates books. Pat Cummings is doing something, right? They're illustrating books. So if the subject is doing the action, that's active. Good. And there are 9 of those, right? So are there 9? Yeah, just 9. So you can go over this. Oh, here's a question one. Did she ever really visit? With questions, you can usually flip the 2 words and make it a sentence, and it helps. So you could say, she did ever really visit. And somehow that makes it easier, right? She did ever really visit. So you can see the subject is she. The predicate is did visit. Is the subject doing the action? If so, it's active voice. If the subject is not doing the action, then it's active voice. There's also this practice down here, which I think is really good practice for the assignment on the previous page. If the sentence is in the active voice, revise it so it's a passive. And if it's passive, revise it so it's active. And then you can even see a sample answer. So if we're looking at this and you really just don't have a clue, you're like, I don't know, you could just click a sample answer and see it, right? So you can use this as just more examples, but I really would encourage you to try it, at least on a few of these. So I put my cursor at the end and I hit enter. I'm going to look. The books were donated by Renata's parents. All right, so my subject is books. My predicate is were donated. The books aren't doing anything here. Renata's parents are doing something, right? They're donating books. But my subject is books, and books aren't doing anything. So I know this is passive. To put it in active voice, I need to put whoever's doing the action first. So I might put Renata's parents donated the books. Now see how I have the subject, Renata's parents, and they're doing the action of donated. This second sentence is active. Let's see what they gave us as a sample answer. No. Renata's parents donated the books. Perfect. All right, so I could move on to the next one. And again, try it. I highly encourage you to try it. If you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. It's practice. But so you're not going to lose, like get a bad grade or anything like that. But what it's going to do is help you learn it. If you're not sure, if you look at this, the author visited our English class, and you're just not able to see that author is the subject and visited is the predicate, and that the author here is doing the action. So this is active, right? If that's not coming to you when you see this, look at the sample answer. Will it give it to you? Oh, it won't. Interesting. All right, so you do have to type something in to get a sample answer. I need a sample answer. Let's see if it'll do it for that. I'm just learning this. Yep, it will. So I typed in, I need a sample answer. I don't have a clue. It will give us the answer. Our English class was visited by the author. All right, so the original sentence is active. It gives us its counterpart, right? The passive. Okay, so practice as much as you need to practice there so that you can, I just clicked back to my other tab, right, to today's assignment, so that you can be successful and get this part of it correct today. All right, if you have questions or concerns, please get hold of me. Otherwise, I'll talk to you another time. Have a great day.